All right, friends. Okay. So this afternoon, it's August 25th, and there's a something of a renewal energy coming through with this transmission. And we're working with the beloved Kali Ma, the angel of light of transition and change, and sometimes turmoil, and sometimes doubt, and sometimes fear. And the sacred blessing for this transmission today is about renewal. So that's what I'm getting with that for today. Thank you, Kali Ma. I'm just going to remind you what she looks like. She's this fierce governess of divine love, divine light, whose energy transcends our ego state and transcends the patterns that block us from resurrecting ourselves over and over. And so there's an offering today to get yourself comfortable and situated for some relief from obstacles that have kept you from whatever your current version of resurrection is. And so that's a beloved energy. You might start to feel already that there's some kind of like your light within your body. Imagine your body as a kerosene lantern that you might use for camping, with one of those little nets inside that makes the light, okay? And imagine that around it, it's been so used that the glass around the lantern is black because of all the charcoal that resistance that's been created by over time. And when you amp up your own light by turning the dial on your lantern, which is your heart dial light, your heart light, the light starts to penetrate through that black tarnishedness on the glass. And literally, if you could amp it up on a lantern so high, it would burn all that black tar. Because like when you clean your oven, you heat it so damn hot that it burns, it totally incinerates all the crap that's been baked in to the oven. Wow, this is a cool illusory description of what happens with us, where we're going about our lives baking lots of things, cakes, meatloaf, cookies, pasta, whatever, baked mac and cheese, as you all love, the angels are saying. And it boils over, and a lot of shit gets collected in the oven. And from time to time, you can do a lot of scrubbing. That's one way to do it, and to use chemicals. But another way to do it is to heat it up I'm cussing, so fucking hot that it burns the shit away. And so taking yourself back to being a lantern of light, that's your soul light in your body. You've got some plaque around the edges, and this transmission is actually an offering to simultaneously, while you're sitting here, resurrect a new part of you and burn the hell out of your prescribed ways of beingness. And Suzanne has been doing this with herself for many, 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 many years. So she knows very well that the capabilities of the light that is God to blow out the pipes and the facades and the buildup and stuckness of the engine of her, of you also, that light is beyond compare. And that's what she looked to do when she began to understand the turmoil caused by her trauma and the holdings of her trauma throughout her many years of life on the planet since her childhood. So yes, this is the counsel of love coming through. We are prescribing to you all the energy of the blessed Tara, blue Tara, and Kali Ma as an offering today. Let's call it like an offering of at the communion table of your sacred altar with God, an offering to resurrect some more of your light, to blow through some old beliefs. How does that sound to you, darling? How does that sound to you? If you are in accordance with this transmission and this message, then internally to us and to your heart and to the light, the very light of God that you are, simply say yes in acknowledgement of this transmission, that you are in allowance of it. And there are streams of light coming down around you, making pillars of golden light, ensconcing you. Your own sacred torch is your heart and in your body, and there are pillars of light coming down around you to blow away some exterior notions of your own their perceptions of your own restrictions, is how we'll say that. So to the extent that you are honing your own majestic being and fine-tuning, polishing, almost think of it like, since Suzanne just had a manicure that she's been admiring, the new technician we brought her to, who brought her fingernails to a level of perfection yesterday, and beauty and love, showing that it's sort of like if you had you're taking a divine nail file, a divine file, and polishing off some chaff from your perceptions. So this is happening as you receive this transmission. As you recall, as you know, diamonds on dental instruments and such, and drills, diamonds are used because they are the toughest element that can polish other diamonds or metals and such, teeth. So we want you to be aware that this is diamond light. You'll hear that a lot. The diamond light of God that has the power to blow out chaff, blow out, scrape, chisel away what you no longer need. And as Suzanne's heart has been refined over so much time of practice, this chaff, this diamond light that is her heart, is surreptitiously excavating through with you all, because that's the work, that's how she serves, primarily as an instrument of clarity and clearing. So we're showing you this so you know her role with you. That's why you ask permission. Think of her heart as a diamond covered, sort of like a drill at the dentist, that has the power now to scrape away, push away, and clear away the perceptions for you all that you need, because that kind of power is very powerful on the earth plane. We can do a lot of work with you from where we are, but she also can. So they just want to make you aware of how this is happening. And part of this is through my own voice transmission of powerful electric diamond studded light codes that come through my voice. So that is going on. And while this is happening, we ask that you open to any awarenesses of what's clearing. Chances are you're having thoughts and or visuals, and whatever those are, because you said yes, trust that if you're coming to consciousness and thoughts about things in your everyday, trust that this light is actually piercing those left nodes, because we want those to get clarified. So if it's something going on with children in your life, if it's something going on with work in your life, if it's something going on with releasing the past, what's coming to your awareness literally is fairly much at warp speed, getting piercing and a clearing. So don't just think that you're having like a thought about bloody blah. In this kind of transmission, it's very, very purposeful that your mind might be bringing forward some of those thoughts. And with that, we bring you to the knowing of that light, which is known as blue Tara. Blue Tara is a sacred light, a sacred transmission, a sacred emanation of God. And she is known as a deity. She is a light. She's a blue light, obviously, of transformation. And so this description of blue Tara comes from the Kali Oracle, transmitted by Alana Fairchild. And it says, "Sweet Mother of Peace now bestows her gifts of clarity, peace, and the power to overcome any negative condition." So that exemplifies and brings out what this diamond light is doing when we're piercing away, clearing away the chaff that has stagnated, that's created a blackened, dense way of perceiving and seeing. It is this sweet mother of peace light. It's diamond light of God. It's pure crystalline white light from the angel realm that comes through, bestowing her gifts of clarity, of peace, and the power to overcome any negative condition. Just as the beautiful lotus grows from muddied waters or through that dense darkness around your lenses, so too shall you arise from confusion, from difficult circumstances, from heavy energies, into sacred blossoming. And I know that many of you who have been doing this work at this time with me, listening live or to the recordings, you are all coming to different perceptions being clarified. And it's not always linear. It's not always easy. It's not always in the moment, but it's the practice of coming to the altar, coming back to the light, that helps to clarify us all. And so a hearty welcome back to more light on this day, which we do together in communion because of the power of the diamond light. If you feel held back or slowed down by your circumstances, remember, your soul has the ability to process all experiences. and become stronger, not weaker, and become stronger, not weaker through doing so. So even if you're walking through this murkiness that you can't understand, you are doing it with purpose and mindfulness, and your soul has the ability to process all experiences and become stronger, not weaker, through doing so. This oracle indicates healing and a positive prediction for a peaceful future. So if any of you have come to this altar on this day with blue Tara, there's this, Om Mani Padme Hum is one of the mantras associated with Tara, with blue Tara. And I'm just bringing that in for us. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Tara Tu Tara, Tu Tara Soha, Om Tara Tu Tare, Tu Tare Soha. This light of blue Tara is generating a deeper sense of will, of the divine will to work through you and your life to bring you through the perceptions of negativity to the perceptions of holiness, that this experience also is holy. All transitions are holy. All experiences are holy. We don't want to stay in the ones that don't feel so great because they don't feel so great, but they're holy. And if there's one thing we would like to repeat and reiterate today, it's that your choices are holy. Your choices, when you're staying in alignment with the God force, are always bringing you to the next generation of you. And that's what we mean about this transference state that you're in, where you're cognitively stuck, but you're really not, because there's divine forces at play that are always seeking to bring you to your next greatest victory and your next greatest joy. And this is a message for today that's quite a strong indication of being brought through in a tribal way, in an earthly way, being brought through some of the muck that you have built up. We want to also be clear, you all make these choices that they're like showing a puzzled nature. Sometimes we don't understand because they don't understand. We don't understand why you make choices, but we know it's because it's difficult on earth, and it's been difficult to trust. But you're learning more and more to trust that we have your back, if you will, and your team, has only the best interplay in mind for you. So with that, we ask you to connect with your heart by placing a hand on your heart and remembering, dear ones, remember, dear one, that you're associated with us, with your team. And you're associated with your team, and you are the very light of God. That is no illusion. The illusion is everything else that makes the glass dark, that you see through the glass darkly. But won't you continue to remember that you are one with God, one with this light, that you are one, that your innate very nature is the light, but that the human might be experiencing something very much a contrast to the light. And that's okay. You're here to be also not light. That's the contrast of being on earth rather than in heaven, where it's all light. So sometimes you reprimand yourselves for these choices, and that's okay. But the reprimanding yourself is what creates the tarnishing. Do you see that? Okay, sorry, I gasped, but because I'm seeing that, the tarnishing, the former tarnishing, comes from the choices we make to be so hard on ourselves when we can opt not to be. It's the hurting ourselves nonstop, thinking we're making bad choices that creates the tarnish around the glass. But what if you consider you haven't made any bad choices, you've just made choices, and every day you're opting to look up to the light, like a sunflower, a słoneczka, and look up to the light and make a new choice. That's imagine they're showing me there's an apple up there and you take a bite of the nectar or any kind of fruit. But apple is appropriate because of the season we're coming into. You take the apple and you bite of it and you take in the what is the outcome or the product of the light. The apple is there because the tree looked up and took in the light and then produced an apple, and you get to take the apple and nourish your body with it. That's a choice. That kind of choice you have every moment, every day. So what if you simply start to make choices that are nourishing for yourself, where when you ask yourself, is this choice going to nourish me? Is choosing, for instance, to do this activity or buy this thing or be with this person or be with this group, is that going to nourish me? That's a beautiful question we simply leave you with today. Is that going to nourish me? Because the more you nourish your inner fire, your inner light, your inner self, the more you are capable of choices that are for your highest and best. And that is simply all we ever ask for you. We ask that for you. We ask a prayer of that to the God force for that, for you. Is this going to nourish me? Is this going to nourish me? What can I do today to nourish myself? And let that fill your belly. Even bring your breath into your belly. Feel the light, that lantern, your divine light, fill your belly and your heart. Is this going to nourish me? Perhaps you'd like to write that on a sticky note, as Suzanne likes to suggest, so that you can start benchmarking different choices with, is this going to nourish me today? That can be a way to start slowly taking steps out of otherwise painful stuckness. Will this nourish me today? Will this nourish me today? Even with food, will this nourish my body today? Or is this ho-ho not so nourishing, and maybe I'll choose some kale? Well, sometimes a ho-ho will really nourish you. Sometimes kale will. It's all in the balance. Darlings, we love you so. This has been the Council of Light, your team of angelic guides who serve you ceaselessly with love and vibration of the Holy One that we call God. And we wish you a sacred, beautiful conclusion to your day with this transmission, that you remain in the light with us. Come play some more with us next week. Namaste. Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Council of Love. Thank you, Tara. Tara, Tutare Soha. Thank you, Kali. Thank you, Divine Feminine, Divine God, Divine Masculine, all of you. We receive this blessing with gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'd invite all of you to take this gratitude into your heart, your body, your beingness, thanking yourself for coming to this altar today, where there's always the opportunity to have something altered for your highest light, your highest purpose in this lifetime. Namaste.